Bonjour, mes amis. Hey, friends, welcome back. Yeah, we've got another lesson lined up, and let me tell you, it revolves around the tiniest little word ever. Well, not really. I guess there's a couple of them that are really tiny, one letter long. Some of you might have a guess as to what it is. E is what it is. E, represented by Y, the letter Y. Okay, right? Y. You guys know that? That's what they call Y, the letter Y in French. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, E. And some of you are like, yeah, we touched on this. We did with the phrase il y a. Remember that from like 300 years ago? Il y a, which literally I said translates to it there has, right? So crazy, it there has. Why do I do that? I don't know. I think it's fun. And you'll see why I'm bringing that up in just a second. So, right, to refresh your memory, il y a trois maisons. There are three houses. What? Three houses? Leave me alone, okay? I just had to pick something, right? Il y a trois maisons. There are three houses. Okay, so that it there has three houses. All right, or there are three houses. Okay, so that E is representative of what would be the word there, THERE in English. Okay, some of you are going, oh my God, I'm never going to get this. No, just hold on. I'm going to make it really simple. There is an expression, on y va, on y va. Est-ce qu'on va au restaurant maintenant? Est-ce qu'on va au restaurant maintenant? Okay, are we going to the restaurant right now is what I'm saying. Est-ce qu'on va au restaurant maintenant? Okay, right now. And the answer is, ouais, on y va, on y va. Which literally means let's go, or let's go there, or yeah, we're going there, okay? There? Where? Huh? Look back to the previous sentence. Est-ce qu'on va au restaurant maintenant? Okay, restaurant, that's what we're talking about. It's whatever came after the word a, or in this case, o, A-U. Okay, same thing. So the there is, in this case, the restaurant. There, or the E, is representative of what would normally precede the word a. Okay? It's a substitute or a way to shorten it. So that way you don't have to say, ouais, on va au restaurant maintenant. Okay? You just say, ouais, on y va. Much easier, and it's much more in line with how we would talk in how we would speak in English. Are we going to the restaurant right now? Yeah, we're going there. Okay, that's how we would normally talk. We wouldn't be so repetitive and say, yeah, we're going to the restaurant right now. It's like, oh my God, that's too much effort. Nobody does that. Okay, some of you are like, yeah, I do it. Well, you're weird. Okay, anyways, let's talk about another way that we can use E. And it's with the je form. So you could just as easily say an expression like this. I'll start it this way. J'aime l'automne à Paris. What does that mean? I like, right? J'aime, I like. L'automne, the autumn. So nice. So nice. J'aime l'automne à Paris. I like autumn in Paris, right? Now you'll see where we're going with the next phrase, the follow-up. J'y vais en octobre. J'y vais en octobre. Okay? J'y vais. Obviously, I'm going somewhere. Where am I going? I'm going to the E. Does that make any sense? To some of you, maybe. Okay? J'y vais. J'y vais en octobre. What were we talking about in the first sentence? We're talking about Paris, specifically in autumn, and me liking Paris in autumn. J'aime l'automne à Paris. Okay, right? The tip-off is the preposition à. I know, I'm getting a little technical, I know. Throwing all these grammar terms at you. Okay, à. Just focus on that one word and what comes after it, in this case, Paris. Now, when we bring up that subject, when we bring up that object, it is, that noun, in the next sentence, we're just going to simply represent it with the word E. J'y vais. en octobre. Okay? Because that's how we would do it in English. I love autumn in Paris. In fact, I'm going there in October. Right? That's how we would say it. You know, something like that. You wouldn't say, I love Paris in autumn, or I love autumn in Paris. I'm going to Paris next October. That sounds redundant and long and cumbersome. So it's the same thing in French. It's too long, so you have to, truncate it, shorten it. So again, j'aime l'automne à Paris. J'y vais en octobre. Okay? Makes sense, right? Now I'm going to throw one more example at you because E is actually used in so many contexts and they can get kind of confusing. So I'm just gonna put this one out there for you to kind of digest. And I have a question for you. Est-ce que vous aimez le jazz? Est-ce que vous aimez le jazz? Do you like jazz? Some of you are like, yeah, we dig it, we love it, we love jazz, okay? Or you could say, if you wanted to be real tricky, you could say, yeah, it interests me, or it interests me a lot, So how to do that is, je m'intéresse le jazz. Je m'intéresse au jazz is how it would be said. Je m'intéresse au jazz. Now, right away, you can identify that O, and since it's there, that O, right away, hey, we can truncate this. We can shorten it. Yeah, it interests me is how you would shorten it in English, right? Yeah, it interests me. Okay? Oui. Je m'y intéresse. That's all you have to do. Pay attention to where that E comes after. It comes after the M part. Je m'y intéresse. Not the other way around. Not j'y m'intéresse. Don't do that. It's je m'y intéresse. Okay? Now, if I've lost you, remember how we started off. Est-ce que tu aimes, or est-ce que vous aimez le jazz? So we're talking about jazz. And then the follow-up could be, if you wanted to keep it lengthy, ouais, je m'intéresse au jazz. That's the grammatical structure. You have to use that m'intéresse, je m'intéresse au. You have to use that A, right? That A, je m'intéresse au jazz. Jazz is masculine, so it's O, Okay. And then we're just like, no, that's too long. That's too complicated. Let's just shorten it to E. Je m'y intéresse. Or je m'y intéresse bien. Or je m'y intéresse beaucoup. Okay? Got it? Okay. Just going to let that marinate for a little bit because it's kind of confusing. But if you ever get stuck, just kind of think back. Oh my God. Okay, we were talking about jazz, and then that should be enough to, fill in. Now, if you don't feel comfortable using it at first, that's okay. You can always say things a long way. But just be prepared. When you hear native speakers speaking, they're going to be speaking the most efficient manner possible. That's how we do it in English. So you'll hear E creep up. Or when you're writing, or when you're reading, you'll see it creep up in whatever you're reading. And you can always just kind of look back and say, oh, okay, they're talking about this. They're talking about Paris in autumn. They're talking about jazz. They're talking about the restaurant. Okay? Whatever would normally come after, you got it. All right. Thanks for bearing with me on this somewhat tricky little word, and I'll see you next time. Au revoir.